can take a look at this. This is a rabbit, and we have more rabbits here. Now guys, this is just a sneak peek into the free range rabbitry that's going on around the farm. I mean, just take a look at all this. Look at all these rabbits. Take a look at all of them. Some are black, some are brown, some have mixed colors. Take a look at all of them. They are all in the tree and they are resting in the shade because it's shining. So as you can see, it's shining over there. So a tree like this one is a very good refuge. So what we are doing and what is happening right here is what we call free range rabbit farming. Now this is something that is rarely practiced on what you would call a large scale. Well, in all reality, what you're doing here is not a very large scale. But again, it's some form of organized farming for us in rabbitry. And most people who do rabbit farming on a rather big scale, I mean more than 10, 20 rabbits, usually do it in cages. But for us right here, we decided to not do it in cages. We decided to do the rabbit farming on a free range scale, and this is really, really rare. It's really rare, and these rabbits are organic. I mean, they have never received an antibiotic, never received any form of medication, and they're thriving, they're replicating. Now let me show you. So right here where they are is on about maybe 4 acres, 3-4 acres of space. Yeah, maybe 3 acres would be sufficient. Yeah, and this area we previously utilized for growing chickens. As you can see, this is typically a chicken house. You can see right here. So in here we grow our local chickens and dual-purpose birds before. And right there, you can see another one of the houses right there. Now, previously, we decided to modify them for our rabbits. So let's get inside. You can see some of the rabbits running in here. Can you see them? Yeah, so you can see some of the rabbits inside here. So during the hotter times of the days, the rabbits love to come and rest from inside here. You can see, you know, if I come close to this, it's going to probably enter there. You can see them entering. You can see one hiding from right there, you know, others right there. Guys, they're really big, honestly. They're quite big, as you can see them. And we have others this side, as you can see. They're really big rabbits. So what we decided to do was to build using blocks like this, you know, blocks like this, and build rabbit cages ideally, as you can see. Our hope was that they would use these cages to replicate from inside here. They would get inside there and replicate. And it worked for a while. For the beginning, it worked. We had some rabbits, you know, getting delivered from here, but after a particular time, it just didn't work. It didn't work completely. So we have just this area over here. We also have another one this side. Let me move over there so that you can see it. We had tried to put concrete around, but they have decided to dig through the concrete. Can you see? So we have more rabbits right here. You can see them. So it's the hot part of the day. And so instead of being outside in the sun, some have just decided to take shade in that tree, as you can see. But most of them are inside the rooms, as you can see. So like you can see, a lot of them just use those to hide from human beings, but ideally not for replication and reproduction like we had hoped. You can see some too right there. So we had hoped that they would use them, you know, to reproduce, but no, they are not. Now when we started out, we had about, I think we started with about 12 rabbits. Currently, there are over 170. The ones that we can count are at least 170. And they have replicated at a rather reasonable rate. If you're keeping them in cages and you're controlling it, I mean, you could replicate way quicker than this, way quicker than this. But we're not keeping them in cages, so we can't replicate quicker than this. Maybe they are more than this and we don't know, but you could replicate in a controlled environment way quicker than this. But then over here, we don't have a controlled environment. In fact, we barely ever supplement their feed. I mean, almost never supplement their feed. All the feed that they get is literally grass from inside here. I mean, they feed on pasture. Once in a while, they'll get feed from the garden, you know, scraps from the garden, or what the guys feed on, the posho. What the guys feed on, ideally, we can throw inside here and they can feed on that. But for most of the day, most of the time, they're going to just be feeding on pasture. So you might be wondering, if they're not utilizing these spaces that we designated for them to replicate, how the hell are they replicating? Well, let me go and show you something. Can you see these holes? Can you see these holes? I mean, you can see holes right here. See those kinds of holes? That is where they replicate from. Take a look at it. Look at those holes. You know, they go deep inside there. So once in a while, you just come around and you're looking for the rabbits and they just run and hide. Let's go to the boundary. I think there's another hole right around there that I saw with rabbits. I mean, right now it's hot, so I'm sure a lot of them are hiding inside the holes. And you guys are not able to see them. But if it wasn't hot, it would have been quite easy for you to identify them. Let me see, I think we have another hole right here. Oh yeah, this one has rabbits. I don't know if we can see them. You know, oh, let's see. Can you guys see anything? It's quite difficult to focus. But from right here, I just saw them. You know, they took off. As soon as I got close, they went deep into the cages. So they are right inside such holes. We have a lot of such holes all around the place. You can see some of them have decided to rest here. Can you see them? You can see them resting right here. Yeah, under the trees. Under the trees is what they prefer right now that it's quite hot outside. Under the trees, it's their resting place. In the morning, you'll find them littered, scattered all around the compound, feeding on the grass. Unfortunately, I didn't even get a single shot. Maybe next time I'll get for you guys a very nice drone shot when they are all moving around. You know, you can see them running, taking off. It's usually the younger ones that run really quickly. The bigger ones, I think I've gotten used to people and they don't run away. For example, that one is way bigger, so it will stay around. I think the young one has run right into the hole. You see the hole right there? That's the hole that we had been talking about. So it has gone to hide inside the hole. And if we get close, I think you can keep an eye on it. If we get close, whoo, it has disappeared right into the hole. And then another thing that we did to change this entire environment was to add these iron sheets on the side. So as you can see, they literally run all around the area. You can see them running all around. You might be thinking why. As you might be able to see right here at the bottom, we had put some form of concrete. I think here it's not easy for us to appreciate. Right here it's easier to appreciate. Can you see this? This is concrete that we had put here to make sure that the rabbits cannot dig and get outside. But we had started getting occasions where they literally get out. Why? Because they were biting, not biting, but they would squeeze through the mesh. You see this mesh? The smaller little ones can squeeze through and get out. So they would squeeze through, and when they get out, they would get attacked by the dogs because you have a number of dogs all around the farm. And of course, that was calamitous for us. It was calamitous for them. But they are rabbits. You're not going to tell them that, hey, don't get out. You're going to be eaten by a dog. No, they just want to explore the boundaries of their independence. I mean, see how far out they can move. So what they would do is that they would get out of the fencing, and of course, it would always end badly with the dogs hunting them down and eating them. So we decided to get that iron sheeting. It was scrap iron sheeting. So we decided to just place it all around, and it's worked really nicely. That just ensured that they can't move in. So already we dug down. The way we constructed this fence is that we constructed the fence and dug it about 1.5 feet into the ground. Yeah, at least 1 foot, between 1 and 1.5 feet into the ground. We put mesh there, so it's difficult for them to dig. They would have to dig lower than 1.5 feet for them to get out, and I think they're just not interested in that. So they have a lot of space to dig all around the area, so they do that. Also, we've put the concrete, like I've already shown you, along the side, so that reduces the likelihood of them digging and getting out. Yeah, it reduces the likelihood. We honestly haven't had them digging and go out. All the ones that used to get out just used to go out through the holes. So us putting that around ensures that they don't get out. So now, like I've already told you, we have over 170 of the rabbits right here on the farm, and they're very delicious. I mean, I don't know. If you've tasted rabbit meat, tell me in the comment section below. How do you find it? Do you like it? Do you enjoy it? I personally like it. I think it's good. I think it's good. I don't think it's like awesome, like over the moon, but it's good. It tastes almost like chicken, yeah? It's really good. I prefer it to beef, certainly, any day. But we rarely eat them right here on the farm. Maybe at some point we're going to really start eating them. I've eaten a few of them once in a while, but not too much. I think we're just getting the numbers still up, you know. I'm still trying to replicate them and get the numbers to as much as possible. Then we can start feeding on them. So tell me, guys, what you think. I mean, we don't give these rabbits any antibiotics, no medicine, no diseases, nothing. And it's crazy. Like I've said, no diseases. It's really crazy. Maybe they get sick and they die and we don't know because they're in crevices and things like that. But, I mean, in a short while, we've moved from 12 to 170. So it's not a bad return on investment, especially considering we have the land, number one. Number two, we have the grass for them to feed on, and we have them right here. Not too much care. One person takes care of them, and just a little bit of time. You know, he just pays a little bit of attention to them every day. Besides that, there's not too much that needs to be done to them. So tell me what you think about this in the comment section below. Would you consider free-ranging rabbits? I mean, you would have to have some good amount of space like we do right here. We have quite an amount of space for us to be able to do this, yeah? And we have quite an amount of grass for them to feed on. So you certainly need quite a good amount of space, but also the other thing you would need is, if you're doing it commercially, it might be quite difficult for you unless you have a market for organic, you know, free range rabbits. For me, right here, the main reason is because I enjoy seeing them on free range. I don't want them to be caged, to be in cages, and this is just beautiful, having them. They're literally like flowers all around here. Of course, it's terrible that you would eat flowers. You would eat your own flowers, but well, once in a while we do eat them. But for now, they're literally like flowers, and it's very beautiful. So I wouldn't personally advise someone who is doing them on a huge commercial scale to do it this way unless you have market for them, because they don't replicate as quickly, the environment is not well controlled, and they don't grow as quickly. And maybe you might be having mortalities which we are not tracking, because for us the goal is not to replicate them. Yeah, of course we want them to increase, but it's not like it's a commercial goal for us. It's something more like hobbyist. Honestly, it's hobbyist. So tell me what you think about this in the comment section below. Catch you very soon with another video. Lots of love. Bye bye.